Peaceful rising, peaceful rising. So, pretty much oftentimes, when I wake up in the morning, there's this automatic stream of thought. It's a conversation that I say that I'm having with the divine, with the creator, with the essence of all that there is. I'm reflecting on the past weeks. I literally feel like I'm having a rebirth of some type. Coming out of coming out of a coffin of amnesia, or just another layer of covering coming up, like the butterfly in the cocoon, Now, on the outside, when the butterfly does emerge from the cocoon and the shell of what it understood breaking away, it does come out with beautiful patterns. But, I've actually I had a necklace I got from the craft event, and it was butterfly wings, and it was 2 different patterns. That was incredible to see that something of nature has different patterns. One side had a pattern, and the other side had a different pattern. Since Father's Day, weekend of Father's Day, Juneteenth, there's some information, or I heard a quickening. I felt a quickening in my spirit, and it had to do with talking with my father. And it caused me to remember some things and to take action. And from taking the action, I was introduced to, this has to do with genealogy, ancestry. I was introduced and followed up and talked with a 6th generation cousin. What prompted me is because I noticed how my elder, my father, was talking, and I noticed every time he would talk about something that he found about our family history, that it enlivened him. Maybe it's because of the season of life that I'm in. Maybe it's because in reflection of my journey and who I am as a spiritual being, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual student, a woman of wisdom, a woman that desires to navigate this life present as most possible. No longer desiring to live in the surface, no longer desiring to be in the matrix busyness, desiring to leave legacy, understanding that, just truly living the gift of my life. Live life. Live. What is living your life? It's not limited to your 9 to 5. It's not limited to, it's far beyond surviving. And are you thriving in your living? Living and loving hard. Let me take the word hard. Loving intentionally, loving with gratitude, loving and letting people know that you do love them, loving yourself. Yeah, the commitments that we say we think we want to have, but do you make commitment to yourself and follow through? That's an area for me. Making commitment to myself and then following through to what I say. Father's Day weekend, Juneteenth, talking with my dad, remembering and reflecting on oral tradition, things that he's been wanting to say. Then I'm sitting back and I come home and I begin to peel away the cocoon a little bit. And I'm introduced to a world that I didn't know I was in amnesia from. And then going into the library of my life, the physical things that have been brought to me. You come to spaces, you come to junctures in your life where you realize, oh my God, it's like you being prepared, or what it is that you have a desire for, you didn't know that you had a desire for, and you look and you say, well, I'm not equipped, and you realize you are equipped. Look in your pocket, look in your heart, look on your bookshelf, look at the stuff that you've been drawn to take and understand. Look at the people look at the people you connected to, look at the people you disconnected to, and you're like, oh my God, I've been guided all along. I'm on this journey. I'm calling it a Sankofa Journey. Google it. It is an African proverb. And now I'm going back to my library, realizing I had information, and I'm listening to this guidance. I may put a little excerpt of a video from a spiritual teacher who I was guided to, and now full circle back. And this opening of the video will pretty much explain, because my ancestors have been calling me, and I've been introduced to myself, a dynamic elevation of awakening that's been encroaching, and I'm in gratitude to experience it and share the experience with you. Peace and blessings.
Every one of us who comes into this world come here because we have a purpose to fulfill. You excuse me, it's a very emotional moment for me, because here are brothers and sisters who are really acting like Africans. It is important that we be aware that indeed the mother continent is waiting for us. We are her children, and she knows that at this juncture, where, as I heard earlier, history is dangerously threatening to repeat itself, she's calling on us, and she's asking us to remember. We cannot start another 400 years of suffering. We have already proven that. And it is time for the power of the ancestors to become the hurricane that washes away the centuries of suffering. As I stand here, this is the feeling that I have. And with the eyes of an initiate, I can guarantee you that there are many more in this room that you can't see, but they're here.
If you play piano and you have trouble coordinating your hands, then you're missing this. This free guide contains more than 10 exercises to help you finally solve all your finger and hand problems. This one will help you coordinate your left and right hand. This one will
I see some sitting over there still holding the shackle of slavery, but with a smile on their face. I see others over there with a fist like this, a lot of young faces. And this tells me that what we're doing here is slowly rewriting history. When I was a child, the vision of the world that I had was very rosy. The closest person in my life was my grandfather. He was known in the village as the healer, the great priest. But he himself didn't think of himself as such. All he said was that the ancestors have borrowed his body in order to do some work. In retrospect, what I'm experiencing in this culture is that the ancestors of Africa are begging each one of us to lend them our bodies so that they can do great work. Because the time has come for the digging out of the vast body of knowledge that the continent has produced for the world. Knowledge that people are still trying to figure out how it came about. And to know that this is the legacy of our ancestors must give us enough pride to know that abundance is heading our way. My grandfather told me that I'm supposed to be the friend of the enemy. I've never liked that, because I don't like enemies, period. And in my life in this Babylonian realm, the worst enemy is the one who looks like me. And so all I can say is that I feel very humbled to know that in the middle of the confusion and the chaos, there are some of us who are sensitive to the constant calling of the ancestors, even though they don't know how exactly to go about lending themselves so that the ancestors can do what they know best. And this is what I would like to share tonight. Ways of bringing the other world of the ancestors into this world, ways of informing the world of the ancestors what it is that our daily lives is witnessing that need their attention and their intervention so that we can live with greater dignity, so that we can live with a greater sense of connectedness and purpose. The thing that I learned most among the people of my nation, the Dagara nation, was that every one of us who comes into this world come here because we have a purpose to fulfill.